So right now we're on our way to see where Von Steuben's homestead is, and as you can see, well, I have some Amish friends who are helping lead the way. So if you remember back earlier in a video on this channel, we went to a place called Valley Forge, and there was a particular guy we highlighted there, a Prussian general named Von Steuben, or D. Steuben, however you want to say his name. Both pronunciations are correct. Well, Baron Von Steuben was instrumental in helping the colonies and the soldiers that were at Valley Forge train better and to become better soldiers for the ensuing fight they were to have against the British. Because of Steuben and his efforts in training the American colony militia units and regular soldiers, well, they were instrumental in being able to gain success over the British. Well, today we are here in New York, and if you can look behind me, it's an extremely beautiful view. And we are here at the home site of Baron Von Steuben. So this is a recreation of what Von Steuben's cabin would have looked like. Now we can't go inside because it is closed today, but we had someone tell us we could just walk out here when we got here, so we come back, and this is maybe what his home would have looked like. Now, his home was not in this location, but it was somewhere out there in that direction or in the field across the street. But nevertheless, this was Von Steuben's land, and he was given this land for his contributions during the Revolutionary War. And this is where he spent the rest of his life, in this portion of New York. And he couldn't have chose a better place because the view here is absolutely spectacular. It is a very beautiful view. But we can't go in to the cabin home site itself. But if you look inside, it is kind of, I don't know if you can see inside, but it is recreated to what it may have looked like at the time. And this was where Von Steuben lived. So we can't really go in the cabin because it is closed today. But this park is created in memory of Frederick Wilhelm Baron Steuben. And his grave site is right down this trail. And that is where we are going now. There's not but one thing I could say, and that is, oh my gosh, is this beautiful or what? And there's a plaque here leading into the monument site and grave of Steuben. Sacred Grove is the name given in 1804 to these woods, hallowed by associations with Baron Steuben, the American patriot. And it is absolutely awesome. Now, I was told by a National Park Service ranger this morning that as you walk through here, the trees there was a reason why they were planted the way they were planted through here. And that was, as Steuben walked through here, it was almost like he was giving review to his troops. So, and if you walk through here, some of those trees actually still remain. And you could see that for yourself. Wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. So there's a marker here as you come in on the rock. It says Steuben, officer in the Prussian Army, 1746 to 1763. Major General and Inspector General, Army of the United States, 1778 to 1784. Trained under Frederick the Great during the 7 Years' War, French and Indian War, he brought to Washington the expert services of a veteran general staff officer. By his training of our citizen soldiers at Valley Forge, his system of military regulations, and by his rigid inspections, he introduced order and discipline into the Continental Army. He was Washington's principal military advisor and assistant in making the American Army, though ill-supplied and depleted in strength, a formidable and effective force. His services were thus indispensable to the achievement of the American independence. After the Revolution, he became an American citizen, was granted American citizenship, given land, and that land was right here upon which he is now buried. Now, this isn't the original final resting spot of General Steuben that we are coming up on. He is buried here, but his original spot he wanted unmarked, but there was a road going to be built over his grave. So they dug him up. They found when they had dug him up that he had been robbed already by grave robbers, which is just terrible. And they replaced and reburied him in the reinterment here, where this monument now rests. So we're walking up now on the gravesite of Baron von Steuben and the monument to him. And wow. This monument covers the remains of Baron von Steuben. Governor Horatio Seymour laid the cornerstone of this of 1870, and the erection was completed in 1872. So this is the final resting place of Baron von Steuben, or Baron de Steuben. He is up under this monument, and he is flanked by 4 artillery cannon. Now, these cannon, oddly enough, are not Revolutionary War cannons. On the barrel here, right here, you can see the date 1861. But I don't think von Steuben would have minded that. He is a military guy, and I think he would have been quite okay with that. So those cannons were placed here upon conclusion of the American Civil War. They're all downward facing, giving the honor of a fallen general. And he is also flanked by 3 cannonballs on each side. Stars at the top of the monument. And on the reverse slope is the coat of arms, because he was Prussian. And that is von Steuben's final resting place. So this is a place I've been wanting to see for a very, very long time. And von Steuben's one of my favorite generals to study from the American Revolutionary War, just because he come from nothing. And he come up in the Prussian army out of nothing. He was broke. And then he comes here and is able to do so much for the colonial army during the American Revolution. And then, because of that, he was given American citizenship, awarded 16,000 acres by the state of New York for his contributions. And in 1786, well, this is the land he got. And this is where he lived until his death. He was never married. And he lived out his life here, wanting his grave unmarked until they were going to build a road over it, and then they put him here. And I think that was very fitting, even though it's not really what he said he wanted. He deserved to be honored. And I'm gonna turn you around because I've been through a lot of woods. I love the woods. It's my favorite place in the world to be, and I could just sit here all day. It is so beautiful. here. The trees are changing colors, and I think I could not have picked a better time to come visit one of my favorite generals of all time. Wow, this is remarkable. So I don't want to leave here. It's so beautiful. And I finally got to visit one of my favorite generals of all time's resting places. And I think the best time of year you could possibly do it. So we're going to get out of here because I've just seen something I've always wanted to see and probably never will see again. And I'm just kind of soaking this in. So until our next adventure, guys, keep preserving history, stay safe. Please don't forget to check out Addressing Gettysburg and keep enjoying the Savannah and Charleston series that we're running right now. But I wanted to bring you something a little bit different and a taste of what you're about to see from here in New York. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out Project Past, Addressing Gettysburg, and the History Underground, vlogging through history. Go support all those guys because they do cool stuff like this all the time too. So let's get out of here and head to the next adventure. See you there. Man, I love New York so much. This is so stinking beautiful. I gotta poop. Oh.